All right, guys. Episode 6, special Halloween episode. We're dropping this one on Halloween. So, special Halloween
Really
episode, everybody.
spooky.
Spooky.
So make sure you guys are don't have any kids around.
Very
This is actually
spooky
the only
episode.
episode that kids shouldn't be around for. Usually we're pretty friendly, kid friendly here. I'd say
Usually,
PG 4, 5, maybe
yeah,
6.
I think actually we're pretty educational for children. So, typically, you should have your kids here. You should have them watching the show, and you should probably take notes on every episode.
Yeah. Maybe have a test.
Yeah,
Like, a weekly test or something.
exactly. Yeah, maybe we'll drop one pissing in the wind weekly test for your kids. If they don't pass it, kick them out of the fucking house. Fuck those kids.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
but
what
ha-
we that's what happened to us when we were kids.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look how I fucking turned out.
I
Fantastic.
know. Yeah.
Happy Halloween, guys. Let's get it started right. I'm gonna be drinking on a Golden Monkey
Ooh.
and then also
Oh, from Victory.
from Victory, and then I also got a big juicy bear hug.
That says a beer hug.
That's what I meant. A big juicy beer hug.
You can't see mine, but it is a Pizza Port Golden California in this cold Yeti cup with my sticker on it.
Beautiful.
How,
Let's get this.
how am I gonna drink this?
All right, guys. Cheers. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Nobody look while I remove my mask.
Oh man, that's a good beer. So, in honor of Halloween, I thought we should start it out with obviously talking about death. So, if you guys didn't know, let's take a look, the year in 1926 on Halloween night, Harry Houdini died from a ruptured appendix.
That's pretty spooky.
So, pretty spooky way to start it out. Harry Houdini died on Halloween night, guys. So, if you wanted to talk to Harry Houdini, take my advice from the last episode, grab a Ouija board and summon that motherfucker up.
But he'll show up and then he'll disappear and you won't even know. Magic.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll show up and steal your watch and then it'll end up in your soda can.
Yeah.
Magic.
This afternoon I was working and I was like in a tight, cramped area trying to like move around. I felt something on my appendix, and I was like, "That's it. My appendix is gonna burst up here in the attic. I'm gonna die here."
How did
Realized
you
I'm probably
know?
just dehydrated.
How did
So
you know it was your appendix that you felt though?
just because like the area of your body it's in,
Okay.
like I just had a cramp right there, and I was like, "Well, I'm also super sweaty and did not drink enough water right now, so that's probably more likely it."
Yeah, probably, honestly.
Yeah.
And we think about, so I was just thinking, like, imagine you summon back Harry Houdini and he's like a ghost, but he's like malevolent. But instead of being like an evil, like poltergeist, he does like cheap tricks all the time. Like you come home and then like a deck of cards flies in your face or something. Or,
Yeah.
or like he keeps like he keeps like putting like coins in your cup. Every time you go to drink, there's like a coin in your cup, and you're like, what the fuck? And all these fucking coins in my cup coming from?
That he ties all your shoelaces together. Just little
Yeah,
things where you're like, this is so annoying. I
every
should have never got fucking Houdini.
every time you put a jacket on, there's like a handkerchief in the pocket, and you start pulling it out, and it's just like a never-ending line of handkerchiefs.
Your partner brings home flowers. You go to smell them. They squirt you with water.
Yeah, she becomes. That's what happens is that, and then he ends up possessing your partner, and she just keeps
Yeah.
doing like the really bad magic tricks where she's like, okay, I have three objects in my hand, and then secretly puts one in her mouth, and she's like, no, where'd the third object go?
Just super obviously.
Yeah,
And now I only have two objects left.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, so as you guys can tell, we're a little dressed up today. I'm a pumpkin head. Rico, you're a
I'm a ghost.
what's on your is that a steak? A
Ooh.
T-bone steak on your sheet?
Yeah, I'm a ghost with stakes on the sheets. No, I think they're little.
Honestly,
I think they're tulips. I'm going to be honest with you.
when we were setting up for this episode, guys, and we talked about costumes, Rico was like, "Yeah, I just need to find a white sheet," and I was like, "Whoa, okay, like that.
You're like,
If
hey,
that's what we're doing,
yeah, I thought we were having a podcast, not a fucking meeting, buddy.
right?"
Well, no time to
Um,
drink.
Speaking of ghosts, like in Hunga Conga, there's a festival of hungry ghosts, which is like their Halloween, I guess. I think it's on the 15th day of I think October. I could be honestly, I'm not from Hunga Conga, so who knows? I don't know if you guys could tell when I shrug, but
The festival of
but
Hungry. Do they put candy out? Do you know?
Yeah, it's like supposed to be that like the gates of the underworld open and then monsters come and you're supposed to leave treats and food and stuff for them out there so that they don't take your ancestors. Because
Okay.
like ghosts from your ancestors will come, Hunga Conga ghosts will come, and if you don't leave out good enough food, your ancestors getting eaten by a Hunga Conga ghost.
Oh, okay. It's kind of almost similar to like regular Halloween, right? Like our Halloween, because didn't like I mean, I guess maybe not American Halloween because it's like it was a British holiday first, I'm assuming, but
Yeah,
isn't like All Hallows Eve was like you would dress up to like to try to scare away ghosts, right? Isn't that like what it was?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I'm pretty sure that Halloween started out with people dressing up so that way they could scare away evil ghosts. And now it's become an excuse to put a sheet on your head that's not for racist reasons.
Well, we don't know that much.
We haven't gotten through the episode yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I so one thing I did want to bring up, you know, it's a spooky season. It is a scary time to be around. There we got a lot of scary stories going on. But you know what's like honestly probably scarier than ghosts and stuff?
What?
What your government does to you all the time.
Ooh, probing.
Probing, yeah, anal probing because they work with aliens. But just like, you know, all sorts of stuff. I've actually, speaking of the government working with aliens, I've been watching X-Files recently. I started rewatching
Okay.
it, and
I've never
that's
seen that.
really, dude, you should watch it. X-Files is fucking good. X-Files sponsor us. Uh, it's a canceled show. Yeah,
X-Files.
but yeah, so I started watching X-Files again recently. I fucking love that show. But a big thing, like a big recurring theme on that show is that the government is working with like the aliens to do experiments on people, and they'll like allow aliens to kidnap you and like do experiments on you in exchange for alien technology. But that got me thinking about like real stuff that the government actually does all the fucking time.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I started looking into it a little bit. And have you ever heard of Love Canal?
A little bit. Not. I have no idea what it really is, but I've heard it before.
Okay, so everybody who doesn't know, Love Canal was this like 4 block living area in Niagara Falls, New York. And in the 20s, I believe it was like 1920 or something like that, Henry T. Love bought the land and he had this idea to build like this great community where people would have sustainable energy because he's going to build like a canal in the middle of it that produces electricity. But then like Nikola Tesla came out with the invention of AC currents and it kind of like fucked up that guy's whole idea. So
Yeah.
he scrapped that idea. He started like basically as far as he got was he dug a ditch. And then Nikola Tesla shit on this guy's idea. So he's like, well, fuck, now I don't know what to do. So he's sitting on this land. And so this chemical company called Hooker Chemicals, they came and they bought the land from this guy like in maybe like the 50s, I think they bought the land from the guy. Um, and so the Hooker Chemicals is using the land as like a dump site. They're dumping all of their shitty chemicals in there. They're burying them in the ground. They're like putting like whatever the fuck they're doing, chlorine and whatever the fuck shitty chemicals they have. And they're just putting them in the ground. And then after a while, they decide like, okay, we're done with this. Like, let's sell the land. So they cover all of the land up with dirt, and then they turn and go to the Education Board of New York, who knew, by the way, that this was a landfill for
So
chemicals,
it's just like super toxic now.
super toxic land that they just covered with dirt, and they were just like, okay, it's good, we covered it up,
What the fuck?
and they sold it to the Education Board for $1. And so the New York Education Board purchased this land, and they build 100 homes, and they build a school, and they people start moving in, they're living their lives, everybody's happy, it's like a great little community. And then maybe like 10, 15 years into it, everybody starts getting like real sick. Babies are being born with like birth defects. People are complaining that the air in the city like smells like chemicals. Puddles were like coming out of the ground, that and kids were getting like chemical burns from playing outside. Like it was getting really fucked up. Uh,
Yeah.
and then like the moms of the town like basically put together a PTA thing, and they were like, "Yo, this is happening. Like we need to spread awareness on what's going on and get the government to help us out." And at first, nobody was really doing anything until like that PTA group grew and they got like word into like a local newspaper, and then the government was like, "Okay, we'll move in and we'll help you guys out." But they only moved out like the people who were in like the worst area. So everybody who was in like that place where like sewage was coming up, they moved all those people out. And everybody else, they were like, you could figure it out on your own. There's not enough resources to get you out of there. So for the next like 15 years, there's the rest of these people were just like suffering with like disgusting chemical fires and like gross fucking birth defects and cancer and like all these different things. until finally, like I think it got leaked, like in like the news or can you pull it up? Maybe you should pull it up so that way I'm not fucking just sounding like a retard.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I'll pull it up right now.
but I think like in the end, it ended up getting leaked. Like basically, it came into fruition that like the government knew what was going on, and that they didn't move out enough people, so they ended up getting everybody out. But that's fucked up, right? The government pretty much bought that land that was fucked up, and they put a bunch of like fucking people and kids and like a whole school. Yeah, here it is, right here, the Love Canal tragedy.
Yeah,
Um, if you,
let's see.
I think if you scroll down to the bottom, it'll tell you what happened at the end.
All the way at the bottom.
Yeah, hundreds of chemical dump sites
Dang.
across the.
And like we don't even know about some of them, I bet.
Yeah, so that's the thing, dude. Like they're everywhere. So how fucking terrifying is that? Like you're just living on a land that the government tells you is safe, and then in fucking when you have a kid, your kid has like a fucking another arm, and you don't know why, and it's because of all the fucking disgusting chemicals that are in the ground.
All right, let's see what happened here. It looks like dang, I can't tell
Yeah.
exactly what happened. This is too far.
I mean, from my understanding is that the government ended up moving everybody else out, and like that land is just like nothingness now. But is that's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. The government does some fucked up shit.
Dang. Yeah, so it looks like there are a ton of different people here that look at like unlike Love Canal, few are situated so close to human settlements, but without a doubt many of these old dump sites are time bombs with burning fuses.
Oh yeah, bro. They actually, you know what? That's actually kind of big here in Florida, where they'll take an old dump site and then they'll just cover it with dirt. And then now we have like these mounds, like these little hill mounds that have like grass and trees on them, but underneath is literally just garbage.
Dang.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, bro. That's
That's
fucking
wild.
crazy.
Let's see. The next victim could be a water supply or sensitive wetland. It's gonna be
That
like Batman Begins.
So that already kind of happens. This is the red tide, when red tide breaks out here every single year, they say that red tide breaks out here because there's a fertilizer plant, like a processing fertilizer processing plant that releases its waste into the bay. And because it releases its fertilized waste into the bay, it causes these algae blooms to bloom out of control. So a naturally occurring red tide ends up becoming like a super red tide that's like killing all these fucking animals and shit.
So I don't know what red tide is. I've never been out there.
Red tide, it happens all over the place. It happens everywhere in the world. Red tide is just a bloom of algae that's red and it suffocates the water.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
it
it's pretty
just
simple.
does it look cool though? Because I feel like that might kind of look cool.
Dude, during red tide, if you go to the beach during red tide, the air will burn your throat. The water like burns your eyes, and dead fish just literally like wash ashore.
So it does not look cool.
Not cool at all. Scary.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, not cool at all. Just scary.
I thought you were going to talk more about the alien side, and I was kind of excited about that. But we'll get to that another episode.
Speaking of like fucked up shit that the government has done, dude, I'm gonna just keep going into these. It's a scary day today. Today's Halloween. It's a scary day. We're gonna talk about stuff that's actually scary, guys. None of this like get it. I listen. Ghosts are scary. Ghosts are real. Demons are scary. It's all scary shit. But what should be really scaring you is what your own government's doing to you. Have you ever heard of the Tuskegee experiment?
No. Tell me what this is about. Tell me what
Okay.
this is.
So the Tuskegee experiment, it happened in Alabama, in Tuskegee, Alabama. And actually, if you don't mind, just Google real quick Tuskegee experiment, pull it up for me just so I can get my dates correct.
Okay. Yeah, let
But
me get it.
we're gonna look up the date right now so we get it right, guys. But so let me just give you the gist of it. The Tuskegee experiment was an experiment done by the United States government, basically testing the effects of untreated syphilis on black men, as opposed to like the effects on white men. So
Dang.
what they did for the Tuskegee experiment, is they took, I believe it was 600 volunteers. Well, not even really volunteers. I think they went to here to tell you right here. The project, which conducted by the U.S. Public Health Service from 1932 to 1972, examined the natural course of untreated syphilis in African American men.
Yeah.
So they took 600 people, and they told them they were like in an impoverished area of Tuskegee, and they told them that they were being treated for bad blood, basically, is what they
399 infected and 200 uninfected.
correct. So they took 600 people and
Dang.
they gave 399 of them syphilis, and they left the other 201 like syphilis free, just to see what would happen
Yeah.
to their bodies. And then if you go down, I believe that it came out. I believe that somewhere, if you keep looking, it'll say that like in the 40s, um, Tuskegee syphilis. No,
Yeah,
go.
when it was exposed in the Washington Star, a class action suit against the federal government was settled out of court for 10 million in 1974.
Yeah, but that was after. Like there was something that it got exposed like in the 40s, and they instead of helping the people that were like had syphilis, the government was like, no, we're gonna refuse them help because this is like our control. We need to get this experiment done. So yeah, right there,
Yeah, it
it
looks
tells
like
them it's read it. Go ahead and read it.
yeah, right here. Penicillin was denied to the infected man after the drug became available in the mid 1940s, and it was still being withheld from them 25 years later
Yeah, it's fucking
in
crazy,
direct
bro.
violation of government legislation.
It's fucking crazy.
Dang.
And like
So
nobody
they
knew
just
about it
brought a bunch of
until
people in. We're just gonna fuck you up, make you super sick, and then just see what happens.
and they lied to them. They told them that they were treating them for bad blood, and instead they gave them syphilis and then just watched them die over the years.
What the fuck?
If look up Bill Clinton apologizes for syphilis, something like that.
Okay.
There's like a whole thing. It's not even a big thing. There's like a tiny snippet of a speech where Bill Clinton's like, "Yeah, sorry that we gave black people syphilis."
This is what he said.
Okay, go ahead.
The 8 men who were the survivors of the syphilis study at Tuskegee are a living link to a time not so very long ago that many Americans would prefer not to remember. Dang. Where is it? So he just had like a whole thing where he had to talk about it all.
But
That's wild. That's
pretty
so
much like
crazy.
he pretty much didn't even like say I'm sorry. Like go back up. I'll read what he actually said. Go back up. So I'll read the whole thing. Right there. The 8 men who were survivors of the syphilis study at Tuskegee are a living link to a time not so very long ago that many Americans would prefer not to remember. But we dare not forget. It was a time when our nation failed to live up to its ideals, when our nation broke the trust with our people that is the very foundation of our democracy. It is not only in remembering that shameful past that we can make amends and repair our nation, but it is in remembering that past that we can build a better present and a better future. And without remembering it, we cannot make amends and go forward. So he didn't even really say sorry. He was just like, yeah, that happened, but we won't forget. Don't forget, guys.
Yeah, right here on the bottom. Medical people are supposed to help when we need care, but even once a cure was discovered, they were denied help and they were lied to by their government.
That's real scary shit. I hope you guys are getting scared. I hope you guys are thinking. I hope it's
They got
making you
spooked.
really, yeah, you spooked out. You spooked out.
Take taking notes.
Take a couple notes. It's fucking
Yeah,
spooky.
take a few notes.
Today's episode is brought to you by Chef Boyardee. One time when I was living in Colorado, I was too stoned to take the Chef Boyardee out of its can, and I just took the label off and I put it on top of the stove, and I turned the stove on, and I started playing video games, and I forgot about it. And then I heard like a snap, and I was like, "Oh, my fucking Chef Boyardee!" And I walked over to go grab it, and I picked it up, and it exploded molten hot Chef Boyardee all over the ceiling on my arm. It made a gunshot noise. A lot of the people in my apartment complex came outside because they were like, "What the fuck was that sound?" And I was like, "It's all good, dude. It's just a little bit of Chef Boyardee."
And that's why they're our sponsor today.
So I do have a scary story though. So do you remember when we first? Oh, you probably don't remember this. So when we first moved into our apartment in La Mirada, mom and dad had like a weird feeling about the place, like that it was just like uneasy. Like every time you'd walk around, they felt like somebody was like behind you. We were at that house one time, and it was like I want to say 2, 3 in the morning, and all of a sudden there was like a really loud like boom, like a loud bang, and we didn't know what it was. And like dad was like freaking. He like got up and like came looking, and then when he opened like our bedroom door, we had these like the doors for our closet were those sliding
Like the
doors,
sliding mirror ones.
but they were pure mirror. And right
Yeah.
in the middle of the mirror, there was like a punch, like a mark, like right in the middle of the mirror, and it broke out outwards, like as if
What the
somebody
fuck?
hit the center of the
I
mirror.
remember it being broken, but I didn't remember that.
That's how it happened. It was like in the
What
middle
the
of the night,
fuck?
it was like a loud noise, like pa, like somebody hit it. And then
I mean,
like
like our brother like wakes up and just punches it. He's like, watch this, I'm gonna
I
get them.
yeah, no idea, dude. No clue.
That's so weird.
A lot of weird
I
stuff happened at that house. There was another time that like the T remember we had like that T like old TV like with the glass front, the big
yeah.
fucking heavy one. There was one time where that TV turned on and the volume just started going all the way up as loud as it could, and then the TV just turned off again.
See, and people think the house now is haunted. That apartment was haunted.
I think the difference between the two is that that apartment maybe saw some fucked up shit, whereas this house is just old.
Yeah.
So have you we're just gonna jump conversations now. Have you noticed recently that like the Satan worship in music is just becoming more and more like blatant?
I didn't notice it until you pointed it out to me. And then I started to think about like everything I had heard. And I was like, yeah, he's kind of right.
Yeah, like
Like
it's just
this is yeah, it's they're not trying to hide it anymore.
it's just not even that. It's just getting so ridiculously like in your face.
Well, yeah, that's what not hiding it is.
There you go. That's what not hiding it is. But yeah, I mean, it's fucking yeah, it's wild, bro. And I mean, I got really deep into this rabbit hole one time, and if it's like the whole thing where every single artist has like a picture of like something covering their eye, so it's like has to it's giving like illusions to like the all-seeing eye, like the one eye.
Yeah.
Another one is like anytime you see somebody doing like the whole like left hand, if their left hand is up and they're doing like a pose with it, it's supposed to symbolize like left hand magic, which is taking like the left hand path, which is basically like the path of like Satan. There's all sorts of shit, dude. I mean, I think the most recent example that everybody probably will know is that Travis Scott concert, that Astro World concert. Did
Oh
you
yeah,
ever
yeah. I
did you
heard
ever see
about
that?
that. I heard about it. I never really looked into it, but I heard that there was like a lot of crazy shit happening. People died out there,
Yeah, yeah. So
like a lot of stuff like that.
I'm gonna start describing a little bit of the things. Do me a favor right now while I'm talking about it. Look up Harmonious Bosch entrance into hell, and then
Okay.
get another tab and look up the Astro World entrance. And that way we can put them side by side. Harmonious Bosch entrance into hell, and then the
Okay.
Astro World entrance. So basically, what everybody thinks about Astro World is that like Travis Scott did this whole soul kicking thing, where he purposefully did a satanic ritual in front of millions of people without like unbeknownst to them to harvest their souls. And the reason people think this is because there's tons and tons of like symbolism towards Satan at this festival, and his background art was saying like different like symbolic things like "see you on the other side" and like different shit about death, and then also like people died. I don't know if you guys know this, but people fucking died at that concert.
Yeah.
Um,
That's like the same picture he has for the like sicko mode one.
and there's also stuff where it's like there's like pictures that he has of people like going into a portal, and then on the other side they're leaving the portal as demons. It's like this whole thing where he was like trying to get people's basically like harvesting your soul because you're willingly participating in his act, which is such a
Yeah.
freaky thing.
It's wild. All right, let's
Did you
see.
find that picture?
Yeah, I found two pictures. I'm gonna pull them up right now. So let's start with this.
By the way, I really like Harmonious Bosch, guys. If you don't know this artist, you should look him up. Harmonious Bosch. He's really old artist, but fucking fantastic. He has a lot of detail in his work, and it's really fucking cool. This
This
is
is
it.
even this is even different than the one I was looking at.
That's what I thought. This is my mistake. It wasn't entrance into hell. It's Christ in limbo. So this is supposed to signify what it was like for Jesus after he was crucified and he was in limbo. That's what the Catholic Church believes in. I don't know if you guys know about religion. We can get into that later. Dominic and I know a lot about religion.
Oops.
So
I
this is
meant to
the
zoom in
Harmonious
right
Bosch
here.
picture, and so this is that mouth right there that you're looking at. That's like basically like the entrance or whatever into hell. Like that guy is like consuming souls and shit. And then if you
Yeah,
look at the Travis Scott thing, look at
that's like the same.
it's like the same. And if you, there's like
Yeah.
a zoomed out one too of like the thing where it like looks basically exactly like it.
Yeah, that's his sicko mode one. Because I don't listen to a lot of Travis Scott, so
But I mean,
um
look at that. Look at that. That looks like a portal to hell. Doesn't that look like a portal to hell to you? If you had to
yeah,
guess,
look at like so we've got like this one right here that this is like during his concert, like this.
look, dude, that looks like a
Oh
portal to
fuck
hell.
yeah.
Come on.
All the fire everywhere.
Come on.
It's weird like
If you don't think that it does, you guys are out of your mind.
this one. This is the one you're talking about too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so like it's just so strange. It's just too many coincidences. The thing is, like, I get one coincidence, I get two coincidences, three coincidences, four coincidences. Like, how many coincidences until you're just like, this is no
It's
longer
too
a fucking
much. Yeah,
coincidence?
it's too much.
Yeah, there's a
That was
lot of
wild.
that's fucking freaky, right? It's creepy.
Yeah.
Makes you feel weird.
So
Really into it.
explain me exactly what soul cooking is.
Okay, so what? So soul
I know
cooking.
soul cooking is like collard greens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah. No, so soul cooking is like where somebody will do a spell on you to harvest your soul in a specific manner, like whether they need it for longevity of life or they need it for like sacrifice or they need it for something else. That's what
Yeah.
soul cooking is. Like whether typically it involves death, but usually it involves like a spell or like some kind of ritual that needs to be done by everybody around. And that's why
Okay.
concerts are really big for soul cooking because you get people to first
Yeah,
number
because there's
one,
so many people there.
repeat your words. So you say something, a mantra, and then they repeat your mantra right back to you. So you say a magic spell, they say your magic spell right back to you. And then you get them to do it a bunch of different times, and then you get
Yeah.
people passing out. They really believe in you. They love you. People are dying at your concert. That's a sacrifice to what they believe that it is like Moloch, I think, or not, maybe not Moloch. I don't remember exactly who, but it's some kind of like owl entity, which ends up being, I don't know, dude. It's all weird. It's like different demons and devils and shit.
An
It's weird
owl
shit.
entity,
It's an owl. Yeah, it's an owl. That's what. So have you ever heard of Bohemian Grove?
like Drake's thing.
Yeah, like Drake's thing actually. So
Yeah.
so I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I went to a Drake concert earlier this year, a Drake and J. Cole concert. And I will say this, guys, I was hammered. I was hammered at this concert. Also, they
Okay.
went on like really late and I fell asleep for a little bit. They were supposed to go on at 8 o'clock and I pre-gamed it. And then I got there and they didn't go on until
Nice.
10. So I fell asleep and I woke up again and started the concert. But anyways, like during the concert, there was like this part where Drake was like on stage, and I was like, I don't have a lot of money, guys, so I was up high at the concert, um, and I could see down on everybody. And there was at one point there was like the holographs that came on screen, and fire shot up out of the corners of the stage, and in the holograph there was like a spirally swirl dimension thing and it was like it was just so weird, bro. It was like, and we were all chanting. He was like making us chant like the chorus of the song. It was just a very strange feeling to be there. We were all chanting a song. Well, I wasn't chanting because I was hammered, but people were chanting a song. There was like a spiral in the middle of the stage. Drake was standing in the spiral. There was fire all around him. It was just a strange thing to be at. You know what I mean? That just sounds weird, doesn't it? Sound weird?
Yeah. Especially I can't. I sound so bad with that. Especially to have the yeah, to have the chanting is what I think really gets it.
The chanting with the spiral, with the
Because
flames.
it's one thing to have everyone singing your song at your concert,
Yeah.
but it's another thing to have them like chant one just the same thing over and over.
Yeah. While you're doing like some weird ritual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just strange, bro.
But here's the his OVO thing with the hearts and the money and the
Listen,
owl.
I'm gonna be honest with you though, dude. I'm a CLB for life.
I don't know what that is.
I'm a fucking CLB for life, dude. So we got
Good.
that. Okay. Yeah, we got that, dude. We got that. So since we're CLB a certified lover boy, just so I got to put that out there just so everybody understands. CLB a certified lover
I
boy.
really don't like Drake's music, so I don't know.
Fine,
I haven't listened to like any of it
fine, dude. I
because
shouldn't
what
blame
I have heard, I just didn't like.
you. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Hey, dude.
I like J. Cole. I think he's really good.
Yeah, I like J. Cole as well. I like Kendrick Lamar. I like them all. I mean, whatever, dude. Who gives a shit? But speaking of like,
I do.
so we're gonna keep going on the scary theme. That's
Yeah.
scary. Scary. It's scary being part of the soul cooking ritual. But
You were
what's
the only one
also
who walked out that night.
I didn't walk out. I stayed for the whole concert. I'm just I just I'm just against everything that I fucking I'm just a walking contradiction, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, also what's scary though is like what the government does to you. But do you know what MK Ultra is?
You were telling me to look into it, and I hadn't had a chance to look into it yet.
Okay.
So I know it was like a project that the CIA did, and that's kind of as far as I got.
Yeah, so MK Ultra was this project that the CIA did where they wanted to try to come up with a truth serum and like a mind control and like super soldiers, just all sorts of different things that they were trying to do with the
Yeah.
brain. But they were doing it using psychedelics. So they would either give you a
Okay.
psychedelic drug with you knowing, or they would do it with you unknowing, and they would
Yeah.
watch your side effects, or they would watch you come in on a psychedelic drug and they would see what it does to you. And the goal was to, like I said, create a truth serum, create a mind control device, be able to see what you can and can't do to brainwash people, all sorts of different shit with your brain. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it was during the Cold War, so it was like really big into psyops.
Yeah.
And those of you guys who don't understand this thing, this is like propaganda, like commercials that make you want to eat cereal. This is like kind of where like the thought process of those things come from, because they
Yeah.
figured out like how
So
to.
you did send me a link to it, but the link that you sent me is all of this, and I'm not gonna go through.
So this is actually CIA.gov. This is the CIA website, guys. This is the CIA website. And if you go to scroll down a little bit, Dominic, to where the numbers start, you'll see some numbers. Right. Keep going. Okay, so now I want you to highlight stop where it says substances right there. There'll be a number one. It'll say substances is like right in the middle.
Oh God, you expect me? Yeah, I see that
Right there.
finally.
Highlight down until you see like just a couple letters. So this is the list. This is what the study is supposed to do.
Dang, there were a
Substances,
lot of
yeah, you
stuff.
don't have to do all of them. Substances which will promote illogical thinking and impulsiveness to point where the recipient would be discrepanted in public. What does that say? Discredited in public. So basically they want you to sound like a psychopath. They want you to be
Yeah,
crazy, give you schizophrenia. Number two, substances which increase the efficiency of, what does
I
that
don't know
say?
what that is. MCNtation,
Mic, mic,
micantation.
Micantation and perception. I don't know what that is.
Me either.
Number three, materials which will prevent or counteract the intoxication.
The intoxicating effect of alcohol.
Yeah, so they,
No,
dude,
yeah. Number four, materials which will promote the intoxicating effect of alcohol.
that's so funny.
I would take that. Materials which will malingering, etc. What? I don't
But
know what
yeah,
that means.
I mean that's what they were trying. That's MK Ultra, guys. They were look at all
Oh,
those.
materials which will produce the signs and symptoms of recognized disease in reversible way.
There's the other one also, seven. Substances which will enhance the ability of individuals to withstand privation, torture, and coercion during
Interrogation.
interrogation and so-called brainwashing. I'm sorry, guys. This is way smaller on my screen than it is on Dominic's, so he should be reading it, but it's all good.
I like number 16, a knockout pill which can surreptitiously be administered in drinks, food, cigarettes, and as an aerosol.
MK Ultra. That's fucking
That's
scary.
wild.
So what I was
They were just
getting,
making all this shit
yeah, they were just,
and like
but
yeah, just
they
trying
were
to test it out on
experimenting.
everyone.
They were taking drugs and they were experimenting to see what happened. So what I was getting with MK Ultra is there's documented cases where they would do tests where they would give subjects LSD unbeknownst to themselves and then watch what happens pretty
Yeah.
much. And then also like once they start tripping, they would kind of like jump in and like start like giving them ideas like propaganda and like all this crazy shit. So where I'm going with this is there's a big theory that Charles Manson actually was a product of MK Ultra, and the reasoning
That would
behind
make
this.
sense.
Yeah, and I did a lot of research about this. I actually sent you a link if you want to pull up the link that I sent you for MK Ultra. I think that there might be two links for MK Ultra, but I'm not sure. There might just be one. But anyway, so Charles Manson, basically, guys, if you don't know who Charles Manson was, he was this person who started a cult in Hollywood and San Francisco that called
Mhm.
themselves the Family. And what they did is he didn't do anything specifically. He brainwashed these people into murdering a famous person and making it seem like it was under the guise of like racism slash Satanism. But anyways, so what the theory is that his so what it is his probation officer, actually this is all real record, is Charles Manson's probation officer. I don't remember his name, but he was partially funded by a government program that wanted to study the effects of LSD on people. And then on top
Mhm.
of it, another free clinic that Charles Manson was known to frequent was also
being funded by the US government for the exact same thing, to study the fucking effects of LSD on people. Just regulation, unbeknownst to themselves, doing it on their own, all sorts of shit. And then on top of that, a block down the street, this is all on Haight Street in San Francisco. A block down the street, there's a CIA cover up house that's supposed to be in the guise of a safe house for homeless people to come and like do their drugs. Like these are people who are like, yeah, bro, come to my house and fucking shoot up heroin, and or come to my house and like drop acid, or come to my
Yeah.
house. You know what I mean? Like this is like my house is a cool place to be.
Damn, right at the beginning of this, I think there's a good likelihood that Manson is a product of MK Ultra, whether he was knowledgeable about it or not.
Yeah, so that's where I'm getting. So his PO officer is being paid by the government to research LSD. The clinic, the free clinic that he frequents, is being paid by the government to research LSD.
Yeah.
A house down the street from the free clinic that he frequents is a fake CIA house where they give people LSD, unbeknownst to themselves, to watch it and to study
Yeah,
them
to
and do
see
different
what
things.
it's gonna do.
All during the time that Manson was being treated by this PO officer, going into this clinic and living in the area of San Francisco. So that's the theory, is that crazy shit was happening and they were giving him ungodly amounts of LSD, unbeknownst to him or beknownst to him, and just like brainwashing him and like talking to him about different things and like, you know, trying to get him to do shit. And then he left and went to LA and started this whole fucking crazy drug cult that killed people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at like all this right
MK
now.
Ultra, guys, that's a real thing. That's a real thing.
I think that's the scariest thing we've talked about today.
That's why it was saved for last. That's a real thing that's been declassified, guys. You can look it up.
Yeah, because there's a lot of info.
CIA.gov. CIA.gov. You can look it up. MK Ultra. It's fucking scary. That's what the government does to you. That's what we should be fucking scared about. Halloween isn't about ghosts coming to your door, bro. The next thing we have to worry about is uniformed soldiers coming to your door. Did that really freak you out though with the MK Ultra thing?
Yeah, it really did.
That shit's scary, right, bro?
Yeah, because especially like seeing some of the stuff that they put on there that is like real stuff
Yeah,
of
I mean,
like a pill that will lower the inhibitions of people.
yeah,
Like stuff like that, where I'm like, shit, like this is, people do that. Like,
yeah,
there's real like shit. What was it?
yeah. Pull it up again. Let's go over it really. Let's go over it and let's see what's. There's a lot of fucking real shit that's on that list, bro. Just MK Ultra alone is like a huge like. That's why I saved it for last. It's like a big one to fucking look into.
yeah, that one's really scary.
It's scary, bro.
Let's see, number what was it, like 16 or
Yeah,
17 or
share your
something?
screen with us.
That was the one that really got me. Let's see, where are the numbers again? Right here. This is the one that got me and scared me. A knockout pill, which can surreptitiously be administered in drinks, food, cigarettes, as an aerosol, etc., which will be safe, louse, provide a maximum of amnesia, and be suitable for use by agent types on ad hoc basis.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking scary. Just knock you out.
That's just like
somebody
it
walks
just
up to
it
you.
just sounds like a date rape drug,
Yeah, it's a dude. Yeah, Rufinol.
right?
Damn.
Which
It's
is
not
like
even just
a
that.
real
It's
thing now.
It is a real. Well, it's been a real thing for a long time, but it's
know,
almost kind of like
yeah.
somebody comes up to you and they're like, "What's going on, Dominic?" And you smell their cologne, and their cologne makes you pass out.
Yeah, and then not only do you pass out, but it a maximum amnesia.
Yeah, you don't even
That's
remember. You don't even
yeah,
remember.
that one was really scary.
That's
And
like alien abduction.
The other one, yeah, right here, number 8, materials and physical methods which will produce amnesia for events preceding and during their use.
Yeah, you
So
just
like you take this, and even before you took it, you forget all that.
yeah, you take a drink of this drink, or you
Right.
fucking somebody lights incense and you smell it, or you fucking take a hit of this fucking pipe.
That's scary. Substances which will produce
I like the one
pure
14
euphoria
is
with
good.
no subsequent letdown.
Yeah, just keep you high forever.
substances which will lower the ambition and general working efficiency of men when administered in undetectable amounts.
That's fucking scary. Like, what is that, bro? Soy?
Soy?
Soy? They're saying soy raises the estrogen in men and it makes you more like a little bitch.
Yeah, but this says lowers the ambition. This just makes you lazy.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Doesn't necessarily have to be soy, but anything.
Yeah. There's so much out there too.
That's just scary. That's a scary one.
Turn
Like,
around
that's what they're
any of the
that's-
ingredients on anything you're eating, and if you can't
doesn't
understand what
even-
it is, it's probably this.
It doesn't even necessarily have to be something that we already have. It just has to, we have to understand that that's something that they're looking into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have it right now. All that it means is that they're looking into it.
And they're on the path of like, we're going to make this. We're just trying to figure out how.
And this was like during the Cold War, guys. This was the Cold War when they were starting
Right
to look
here,
into this.
established 1950.
50s.
These projects established in 47.
Scary shit.
Yeah, so this has been out there for a while.
This is on CIA.gov. If anybody wants to look at it, CIA.gov.
Oh, even more stuff. I'm not going to go through all these pages, but
This is real
you can look at, like, if you click the hyperlink in that CIA.gov one, it'll bring you to this. And you have like titles and origins, goals. We could look at the goals one. I can't read that. Look at right here. It says the agency poured millions of dollars into studies probing dozens of methods of influencing and controlling the mind.
Yeah. I mean, come on,
Dang.
guys. Come on.
Shit, look at number 6, materials which will render the induction of hypnosis easier or otherwise enhance its usefulness. Dude, all of these are scary. Let's see what they were doing LSD and other drugs. Hypnosis and magic. Houdini? Is that you?
Dude, Houdini, are you back?
Dang.
Dude, okay, that's it. I figured it out. It's
Hypnotically induced anxieties by
Yeah.
Houdini.
Yeah, because he's afraid to die again. So that's what it is. Houdini came back and he decided that stage magic needs to be the forefront of the world, but he is not sure how to like bring it in. So he's bringing it in through the guise of the CIA.
Oh. Dang. At MK Ultra. I don't even know what to say about that one.
Isn't that freaky? Doesn't that scare you?
Yeah, especially thinking like, dang, they didn't even know about it. What if like we don't even know about it and they're doing it to us right now?
Exactly. It could be happening. So let's go to that. What if you don't even know about it? They could be doing it to you right now. The fucking first thing we talked about, dude, love canal.
Yeah.
What if you're living
mean,
on top of a toxic waste dump and you don't even know about it?
Yeah. And it's going to take another, 10, 15 years and then it all comes out. And
What
my
if
kid is
we-
born with like four arms, but not in like the Mortal Kombat way that looks cool. It's like a bad way, like arms coming out of his head or something creepy.
What if we all fucking went and got a COVID shot just to find out in fucking 5 years we all have syphilis?
Dang. What a good point. Like everyone got that, and everyone got more than one, or most people got more than one.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Like you had to continue to go back and get them more.
What they say it is an RNA thing where it's fucking with your DNA. But yeah, that's makes you think,
good
bro.
point.
Makes you think,
Yeah,
man. It makes
that's
you
a
think,
really
really think
good
about
point.
what should and shouldn't be regulated, how much power the government actually has, and what us as American people need to take back. I know that we sit here and we look silly, especially myself, and we do silly stuff, but I do want you guys to know that this country was founded on criminals. We were criminals in the eyes of King George. We weren't
Yeah.
supposed to be here.
No, that's why, like, it was a rebellion. It was a revolution, and that's why it's called the Revolutionary War.
Shit's crazy. Shit's crazy and scary.
Damn, that was a good one. I'm a little spooked right now.
I know. It makes you fucking really think. Fluoride's in our water.
Yeah.
They put why? Because it's good for your teeth, bro. I don't have any
Okay.
fucking cavities.
I don't
I
need
went-
teeth.
Yeah, dude.
I got you. I don't need teeth. Got you.
Halloween, guys. I hope that you guys are scared after that. That's the scariest thing that we probably could have came across.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad that we're all here together, and I'm glad that we're spooked. It's a good time. I like to be scared. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel alive.
It is a cool feeling.
Makes
It's
you feel
fun.
alive. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do like to be scared.
I'm done.